2016 Ivy Young Willis and Martha Willisdale Award winner, Carla Clanagan. In 2007, Ms. Clanagan founded In His Eyes Outreach, a nonprofit organization where she serves as the executive director that works to support, advocate, and educate women being released from prison. They accomplish this through mentoring, life skills training, housing assistance, education planning, career training, and court advocacy. By nurturing these women's spiritual, physical, and emotional needs, Ms. Clanagan's goal is to reduce recidivism, strengthen their relationships, and help to build better communities. The In His Eyes Outreach Mentoring Program is the first formal mentoring program offered in Montgomery County Correctional Facility located in Eagleville, Pennsylvania. Ms. Clanagan has successfully assisted and collaborated with reentry partners in the county to acquire a Department of Labor grant. Her partnership with Mission Connection has allowed for a family visitation room where children can have full contact monitored visits with imprisoned mothers in a colorful room filled with toys. After meeting so many families and children with incarcerated parents, she also created a youth program called DACMAC, an acronym for Dads and Kids, Moms and Kids Reunification. Ms. Clanagan also is an advocate for women in recovery from drug and alcohol addiction, for both ex-offenders and non-offenders. She teaches them life skills, parenting, employability workshops, cognitive behavior change, and offers advocacy and mentoring to them. For more than 20 years, she's worked in healthcare, most recently as the County Reentry Coordinator at the Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability Department of Montgomery County. Ms. Clanagan is a member of several local and national groups, including Cabrini College's Domestic Violence Awareness Board of Advisors. She teaches weekly Bible study at the county jail, has one-on-one visits, facilitates workshops throughout the area on reentry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our 2016 Ivy Young Willis and Martha Willisdale Award winner, Ms. Carla Clanagan.
So In His Eyes Outreach is all about reentry services. If it's about someone coming out of prison, coming out of jail, coming from a shelter, coming from a transitional home, I'm the person, I'm the one, I'm here to help. It's what I do, it's what I've been called to do, it's what I like to do. It's what I'm gifted to do. Discovering the beauty behind the mask, that's the logo, that's the slogan, that's the motto that I use for the organization. In His Eyes is about seeing yourself as Christ sees you. So it's about seeing the women that I work with, it's about them seeing themselves for who God created them to be. Not for the labels that we have given them, not for the labels that society has given them, and not for the crime that they committed. And part of the problem is that we see them for the crime that they committed. So part of my job and the volunteers that work with me, we're there to give them a new look on life, to look at their self differently. And we do that by knowing that in God's eyes we were all created equal and we all have something to give back. So the first program that was created out of that journal was the mentoring program. The mentoring program works by taking volunteers who are trained and go through an orientation into the jail and teach them how to mentor someone. And they're all volunteers. And so they go through the training, they meet their inmate, and they begin mentoring. The commitment is a year, preferably at least 6 months. You go in once a week and you spend 1 to 2 hours with an inmate, one-on-one. And you just learn about them and become a trusted advisor to them. And then when they are discharged from jail, you continue to work with them, continue to meet with them and speak with them over the telephone to help them navigate through life. Holiday time, I received a phone call from a young lady that I had mentored back in 2007. Kind of went through all the different jails that she was in and out of and worked with her, and she was finally out of jail. She moved to Las Vegas and I lost track of her and I hadn't heard from her. We connected on social media, so I just kind of follow them sometimes just to make sure that they're living okay. And she called me, she's like, thank God your number is still the same, because they changed their numbers like throwaway phones. So I'm like, how are you? What's going on? And she opened up and poured out her whole heart to me. Everything that was happening in her life, all the good, all the bad. And the final thing she says is, so now what do I do? I'm like, well, you know, I haven't talked to you in like 8 years. Let me think about this for a moment. But she needed some direction in her life as to what to do, because she wanted to come back and visit her family and visit with her son, and she was afraid because she had an addiction issue. So she was afraid to come home to visit, because what if they give her the wrong reception, even though she talks to them, and it sends her over the edge. So although she's been clean and sober, what if? And so she called a familiar person, which is me, because I also work very closely with the families, just to help with that reunification. Because without that, you know, their likelihood of succeeding is just cut down, it's very slim. And so I gave her some advice, and I talked to her, and I worked with her, and she didn't end up coming, and so I've just been kind of checking in, because I know that brought on a lot of past emotions, and I just needed to know that even today that she's okay, and that she's able to continue on. Most jails are built for men. So the rules are for men. They don't take into account that as women we need different things and we do things differently. And that was a problem for me. So I started doing my own private focus groups in the midst of the classes that I was teaching, and got a lot of information from the ladies. And so in that focus group, I learned that most of them have a man, have a boyfriend, have a friend, have a co-conspirator, have a person in crime, like someone on the other side of the jail, which is the male side. So I came home and I told my husband, I can't work with the women, then they go home to these same men who are also in jail with them, so help. And so I dragged him to be a part of this all. And he kicked a little bit and screamed a little bit. And when I had him first go in, and he met a young guy who was just a young guy who made a mistake. And he came home and he's like, oh my God, this guy shouldn't be in jail. How do you do this work? And he was just, and so now he's kind of hooked on it. And mind you, everyone in the county jail is there for a misdemeanor. And their felony is only a felony because they've, you know, used that drug so many times that now it's a felony. They've stolen from the King of Prussia Mall so many times that now it's a felony. But it's usually victimless crimes, and they're serving time because they can't get off of probation, because they stopped visiting their probation officer, because they stopped paying their fines and costs because they lost their job. But if you take a really good picture and look into our county jail, they're not who we think they are. We have been able to save a lot of mothers from losing custody of their children. Through Family Services, which is a great partner of ours, we have really been able to work with our Children and Youth Services of the county, and actually different counties have come on board through the playroom that I was able to bring to light due to my involvement with Cabrini. Our inside-outside students did that as their final project, and they got all the statistics and did all the work, and I was able to present that to the jail, who was very, very excited about the program. And then Mainline Connections, which is a group of churches here on the main line, donated all the materials and all the furniture and all the toys. And so that room is a privileged visitation room. If you complete the parenting class, you get to have a visit with your children in that room. It gives you a chance to exhibit and to show off some of the parenting skills that you have now learned. And so you can have a very fun visit with your children in that class. And part of the problem for Children and Youth Services was that women were losing custody of their children because they're in jail. They couldn't have a supervised visit with their social worker, with their caseworker, and so now they can. And a lot of women and children are being able to stay connected because of that room that was created through a whole collaboration of people. And again, I'm very thankful. I love what I do, and I'm humbled by this opportunity to not just share with you and the students, but to receive such an honor. Thank you.
Fabulous. So, on behalf of Cabrini and the Dale family, it's our privilege to present the Ivy Young Willis Martha Willis Dale Award to Carla Clanagan, honoring a woman who has made an outstanding contribution to the world of public affairs, March 30th, 2016.